Hello everyone, my name is Ghazain Khan. I am a manager governance at PICG. I warmly welcome you in this investor education series proudly presented by PICG. Today's topic is on understanding board composition and structure. We look through all the required information on the board and its structure and composition. There are companies of all types and sizes. Some are small, some are large, some have a large financial footprint, while they do not have that many employees. And some companies, though small, can have a large workforce. Board size is dependent upon a lot of factors, such as the number and variety of stakeholders, nature of business, and sector trends. Due to the impact of technology and complexities of businesses, it is becoming increasingly important to have the right skill set on the board. Diversity of age, skills, gender, and geography add significant value to the board. The board shall comprise of members having appropriate mix of core competencies, diversity, requisite skills, knowledge, experience, and fulfills any other criteria as deemed relevant in the context of the company's operations. In this section, we look at the types of directors in the companies. So first one is chairman, the highest ranking officer of a company's board of directors, responsible for leading board meetings and ensuring effective governance. Then we have chief executive officer, the top executive responsible for the overall operations, decision making, and strategic direction of the company. Then we have executive directors, directors involved in the day-to-day management and operation of the company. Non-executive directors are those board members who do not partake in daily operations but provide oversight and strategic guidance. We have independent directors who are independent of company management and have no material relationship with the company. Nominee directors. Directors appointed to the board by a specific shareholder or stakeholder to represent their interests. Alternate directors. Individuals appointed to act in place of a director during their absence. Now we look at executive and non-executive directors. Executive directors are those who work full time at the company, making decisions and managing day-to-day activities. Then we have non-executive directors who don't work at the company every day, but help by offering advice and making big decisions. Among non-executive directors, independent directors do not have any vested interest or relationships, whereas interested directors have a personal or financial stake in a company's decisions, which might affect their objectivity. Now we look at directors' responsibility. When it comes to responsibility, all directors share the exact same requirements. There is no distinction with respect to compliance, expected standards of conduct, and competence. In this section, we look at legal requirements in Pakistan for the listed companies. There is listed companies code called Code of Corporate Governance Regulations 2017, Chapter 2, Number of Directorships and Position of Board, which says for the independent directors, it is mandatory that each listed company shall have at least two or one-third members of the board, whichever is higher, as independent directors. And further, it's explained that for the purpose of this sub-regulation, a listed company shall explain the reasons in the compliance report if any fraction contained in such one-third number which is not rounded up as one. Then it emphasizes having a female director on the board as required under Section 154 of the Companies Act 2017. It is mandatory that the board shall have at least one female director when it is reconstituted after the expiry of its current term. Then, executive directors, which is also a mandatory, including the chief executive officer, shall not be more than one third of the board. For that purpose, a listed company shall explain the reasons in compliance report any fraction contained in such one third number which is rounded up as 1. Further, it explains executive director means a director who devotes the whole or substantially the whole of his time, whether paid or not, to the operations of the company. Now we look at the regulatory side of State Bank. State Bank regulation states for board composition that the board shall collectively have adequate knowledge, expertise, and skill mix commensurate with the business model, overall size, complexity, and risk profile of the bank or DFI. Further, the board should collectively have a reasonable understanding of local, regional, and if appropriate, global economic and market forces, and of the legal and regulatory environment. At least one third of the total strength of the board of a bank or DFI, other than joint ventures between Government of Pakistan and governments of other countries, should consist of independent directors. The banks DFIs shall take necessary steps to ensure that the minority shareholders as a class are facilitated to contest election of directors by proxy solicitation. Moreover, while formulating the board, the following requirements shall be complied with. The numbers of directors who are family members shall not exceed 25% of total board members. Maximum two members of a board of a bank or DFI, including its president, CEO, MD, can be the executive directors. At least one female director shall be appointed on the board who should not be a close relative of any other director or sponsor shareholder of the bank or DFI. Further, close relative here means spouse, lineal descendants, and siblings. Now, that is all for board composition structure module, and I'm thankful to you for watching this video. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.